ahead and get into the time that the moment everybody's waiting on right now. Oh, everybody's been waiting in to go on that blue willy right there. Yeah, man. Ever since they saw Will Smith holding his breath, turning blue right, everybody's been on his ass about this. Right. Like the movie people probably, because people now talking about, oh, man, this movie ain't gonna be shit. It gonna make money, but it ain't gonna get my money. I mean, gonna get my kids' money. Right. Maybe my wife's money.
And I probably have to pay to take them to see it.
Yeah, I probably had, but
But it's under duress.
Yeah.
I'm not paying half.
It ain't getting my money willfully. No pun intended. Can we just go to the drive-thru at dtmerch.com? No. Man, ain't gonna take that long to get that black teeth, that white logo right there. Man, they serve that up quick. Right here. You can only find these hats. You only find these hats in the studio. So when you come to the studio, I haven't set it up yet. I got a whole shop here in the studio now. Nice. May 25th. That's just a couple of days from now, man. May 25th, gonna be at the Adelaide Hall. Ticket sales have been going well. Would like to see you there. It is limited space, so get your tickets right now.
I'm looking forward to seeing Chris Herman dressed up as a Dudley Do-Right.
Oh, we got a horse form and everything, man. The only thing I'm looking for is y'all talking shit. That's because I know y'all gonna go. Man, y'all talk so much shit before this movie came out. You can't backpedal now. You don't put yourselves in a position where even if y'all like the movie, it's like, If you want to see just how bad we were talking about this movie, go watch our latest video. You can watch that video right here on this YouTube channel, or go to our site, doubletoasted.com, where you can see the unedited version.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah. Shit, Corey even got his hat on. Oh boy, he ready. I got this hat on. Well, not on to whore ourselves out, but also, yeah, because man, I'm ready for this. The only thing the positive thing is that people say the biggest positive thing I heard is, well, maybe it'll be all right. Not good. Right. Maybe it'll be all right. Right. I'm like a shooting star. I've come so far. Let me share this whole new world with you. Now, I'm wearing this hat not only because I want to advertise our products and whore some stuff out to you, but I'm also wearing this hat, Martin, so that I can humbly take it off and say, I apologize, Mr. Aladdin, sir. I done talked a whole lot of shit these past couple of weeks. And I especially jumped on that Big Willie right there. Big Willie style. I called it, man, I went in on Mr. Will Smith. I hardly had anything to say about Aladdin, but Will Smith, I just went off on Will Smith. First of all, I called him ugly, said his jokes ain't funny. Negro, you can't sing. Prince Ali, fabulous, okay, he still can't sing. Yeah, I sat up here and said Aladdin had a stupid face. I went on a lot of things just to come back and just have to admit, I kind of liked it. After all that shit talking, man, I have to admit that I'm actually impressed with what they did. Now, I'm still gonna talk some shit, but I have to say, that I'm still gonna say something. It ain't hey, you ain't clear exactly yet. But I have to admit though, man, I'm gonna, I can't give it a complete pass because Disney with this, they're still cash grabbing, and it's pretty obvious in most of the film. However, I have to say that, I mean, for whatever complaints I might have about this, I did have fun. I was a little bit impressed with the things that they were able to do that set it apart from the original. I mean, not completely. They still dig around the original, but there was a lot of things that they were able to do that kind of made this its own. And I think with having Will Smith in this, the way that you have to go into this, the mindset you have to have is imagine if you're combining the original 1992 Aladdin and you're combining it with Hitch.
Hitch, right.
And you know, if except that Hitch in this case is big blue and on LSD, you know, the whole time. You know, imagine, and also imagine also if Kevin James was, you know, short, brown, and more handsome. Well, he got the short part down right. But you know, and a lot younger. But you know that for me, I don't like the notion of what they're doing with just doing all these remakes, because now it doesn't seem like that they are doing remakes because they really are inspired to like do a remake for you know, a creative reason. You know, it seems like, well, this is just the next thing in line,
right?
And there's a lot of that right here. I was petty with this. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I was fighting it. Because I was like, shit, I ain't going to go back and be made look like a goddamn fool in front of people after I done talk trash about this movie this whole time. But, I mean, it got to a point where I just kind of like, man, you just going to have to let it go and just go and admit to these people and swallow your pride and say that you actually had a good time. And the thing is, I was already prepared because I saw Mark with a group of other critics over there, and I saw them they had the carcass of Aladdin just in the middle of them, just tearing that shit apart. And I was like, okay, I just kept walking. I said, oh, hell, this is gonna be interesting. I saw a whole group of y'all over there just with scowls on your faces. Yeah, you gonna believe that part. Yeah, man, you believe that part. Man, this is some bullshit. And I was like, oh, shit,
You were sitting behind us. How'd you see all that?
No, when I walked out the theater, y'all went in a circle.
You do that every time.
Just to look at each other. Yeah. There's some bullshit, right? Yeah.
You don't always see what you think you see. That circle of critics, they're all scowling and talking shit about the movie. I was in that circle, but I wasn't talking with them. I was just listening and nodding my head. Interesting.
In agreement.
No. I was acknowledging their points. I found it interesting. And actually, most of them weren't even talking bad about it.
Oh, really? All right. I guess I just missed, because one girl was mad.
Yes, because there are certain things in here. Cutting to the chase, I found myself having fun in this also. Really? Yes, I did. It is not without problems, and I feel like that's an understatement. I honestly feel, you know, took my daughter with me and came out, and we had two different reactions to it. But the thing I came to realize is that both of our reactions were built upon our expectations. Okay. Because hers was, man, I expect more from Disney. And mine was, from what I saw from these trailers, I expected much worse. Yeah. They pulled this off a lot better than I expected.
If you're very close to the original, don't do that, because it's not going to work for you. And by the way, I can't blame you, because the movie, listen, the movie starts out bad. I'm not giving you a real spoiler here, but the movie starts out with Will Smith in mostly human form, and it's off to a bad start.
It's off to a bad. Listen,
because I tell you, there was a moment where you thought that one number that we showed you that everybody's been talking about is bad. There's a point in here where he starts to sing a musical number, and it is not his voice at all. In a land far away, I was like, nigga, that ain't you.
Oh, I thought it was him, but because it's singing, it's like, youch, that is flat.
Yes,
this is the opening number.
Yes,
it's not even a powerful song. He's singing at half voice, and the shit is flat. Oh my God, how is this gonna go?
Oh yeah. We usually take about 10 minutes for the shit to go downhill, but we are 2 minutes into this movie, and y'all already messing this up. So I don't blame people for you know, coming in. If you are very attached to the original, and then you see that, it's not gonna help. Also, you know, I mean, that whole thing with the genie, I get it with people, man, because that technically is still not that great. Will Smith as the genie, I say, man, he's not even the problem. It's from a technical angle. And it's really his face. There are moments on here where Will Smith's face is just floating all over the place.
Yep.
That CG, it's like his face is like just a second behind the rest of the CG.
Yeah, his face is floating. It's very obviously not his body.
His face is constantly trying to catch up with the rest of his body.
The body changes in density.
Yeah. That body just be moving. His face just 2 steps behind. Wait a minute, hold on. I don't know how y'all let this many eyes look at this, and it was never obvious what the problem was. The problem with the genie is not so much even his face. It's that body, man.
Yep.
It's like
the body, yep.
It's CG, and y'all gave him a beer gut and a dad bod. You know, he's
well. The idea is that he's muscular, but not somebody who cuts carbs to try to get cut.
You know what it was?
Because even the genie animated has the same kind of body.
But the genie got that thin waist,
well,
and that hefty chest.
Yeah.
You know, the whole time it was like it was like watching Fat Thor if he was blue.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
It was like, and I was like, man, y'all had this all this CG at your disposal, and you still made him fat. I was like, I don't know, somebody that didn't like him, man. All y'all had to do was paint him blue and just give him some smoke from the waist down.
Yeah,
that's all you had to do.
Yeah.
With all that money y'all spent on CG for this movie, and somebody just took a photo and just photoshopped it with blue, a blue filter right there. Yeah. Does that not look better?
Yeah, it does.
There are certain things they do, like they tried to actually get some of the gags down that Robin Williams did. You know, they try to keep it frantic like they did right there. But, you know, with all the Aladdin gags from the original, you know, all the stuff they did to go with Robin Williams' performance. But, you know, they don't do a whole lot of that because a lot of people see that and they're going to, you know, and that's just going to make them more defensive. I will say that they keep that to a minimum, man. But they actually make the genie more of his own in this film right here. You know, I'll tell you, man, that while watching this, of course, there are some things that they're not going to be able to do, but the movie still is able to succeed just because the original did most of the work already.
Well, I was going to say that this is I don't know how much I can give the movie credit. I mean, I'd say, yes, it's enjoyable, it's fun, because the original is enjoyable and fun. And if you follow that formula, you watch this, you go, you know what? If you stick to this formula, just even 65%, you're going to have an entertaining movie.
That's it. That is it, man. Look, the work's already been done.
Yeah.
And there's some things that you're just not going to top. Robin Williams and the animators made this movie such their own thing, along with the songwriters, that, you know, no matter how hard you try, you're not going to be able to top it. You're not going to be able to top A Friend Like Me.
You got some punch. Yahoo and house, all you gotta do is rub that land. You ain't never had a friend like me.
You ain't never had a friend like me.
Yes, sir. We pride ourselves on service.
Robin Williams had about 5 lines of cocaine before he did this. You're not going to be able to stop that. There's a part in here where, and you see it in the trailer, where, the genie actually takes Aladdin and uses him like a puppet for the dance number. That is something that's not in the original, and it's something that is works as a visual visual set piece in live action very well.
And that right there works really well. Like
that number right there.
Well, within that number, that part right there where he has Aladdin on the marionette string.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, that's gorgeous right there.
Yeah,
that what you're doing right there. Do that for the whole thing.
Yeah,
where you're coming up with your own gags and your own visuals and not making me go, yeah, but it was better before.
There's a lot more moments where Will Smith is in human form than he is in genie form.
Yeah, thank God.
And because of that, Will Smith is able to be Will Smith.
Right, and that works fine.
Because his performance is not dependent on a bunch of CG animators to go in and just try to mimic Robin Williams. And when they do that, that actually works out a lot, because not only is Will Smith allowed to be Will Smith and do his own thing, but him and the character of Aladdin also work really well together when he's more in human form.
Hey, can you make me a prince?
I could just make you a prince.
Oh, no.
Right, you'll be snuggled up with that dude for the rest of your life.
I just want to go home, man.
He has to be there.
I got spoiler. They never go back to that dude.
I know.
That poor dude that's back there.
Understand, because if she already likes you, why change?
I told you, she has to marry a prince.
I just want to go home, man.
That dude never went home.
Yeah.
That skeleton out there. They never answer what happened. Allowing Will Smith to go in and make the performance his own in human form helps out a lot. But y'all are saying, oh, okay, now that means he's gonna bring in some of that hippity hop here because he said he can't wait to bring in that hip hop flavor to it, and he does. Yeah. And now I don't know how you feel about it because, you know, yeah, there are small parts where he does it. You know what? I felt like it could have been a lot more. Man, look, it's Will Smith. He gonna throw in a boy, you know, a ho. You know, he gonna do that. There's some hip hop dancing where he has people dancing. You know, they're pretty much popping and locking. I mean, it's a point in the song where it should be trumpets blaring, and he just has everybody do human beatbox. Yeah, but you know, like he has somebody breaking and shocking, you know, shocking and popping and locking, but they mix it in with some Arabic themes too. Yeah, and yeah, there's a part in you know, he says, "You ain't never had a friend like me. Can your friends do this?" Yeah, it's like that human beatbox. Yeah, but he beatboxed a few times and that's it. He beat that. He didn't beat that box to death. I'll tell you that. Can we move on to some of these other characters right here? Yes, we can. Because, I mean, after all, it's like, goddamn, the movie's called Aladdin. You know, what about the title character in this? Hey, the movie was called Dumbo, and he was barely in it. Yes, that is true. And that movie lived up to his name. And y'all saying, well, we hope this lives up to his name, too. How's Aladdin in this? Mena Massoud, not bad as Aladdin. I will say that I think, you know, because as that character, he definitely does work. He's got the attitude to do it. The only thing that I was saying, this could probably even be said about the other Aladdin, I think he works better when there's another person with him. Oh, that's true. That's true. He works better off other. Yeah. You know what? You nailed it. Because the whole time I'm watching his performance, I'm like, I feel like sometimes he's got it. I mean, he certainly has the look. Yeah. And then there's other times when he's just kind of flat. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know if it's him or it's the directing, because a lot of this movie and its direction, some of it is really fun and frenetic, and a lot of it is lethargic, especially in the first half. Naomi Scott as Jasmine. I was surprised at how well Mena Massoud and Naomi Scott, how well they clicked in the movie as far as, you know, their romantic scenes. They click because you know, inside you root for them to be together. No, you do. But I mean, I ain't gonna think. Aladdin got game, man. You know, he can talk some shit. Well, Aladdin does, but Prince of Boo Boo not so much. I mean, Prince of Babu. I'm so used to Jafar. Jesus, man, you just a hater and a Jafar. Look at you. You actually called him Prince of Boo Boo, man. That's how I know you don't like this shit. And you said it with attitude too. Prince Abubu. Prince Abubu. Yeah, even Jafar talking about, God damn. Martin did Jafar better than me. Nah, man, you know, because again, you know, they take certain things from the original, and yes, they worked because they worked in the original, but they would not work if the actors weren't able to do it. And that whole romance, I mean, even when he's flop sweating and he's, you know, his whole thing of trying to court this girl is going terrible, it's still kind of cute. Yeah. She actually, man, that was some cold shit. She actually let his ass flounder. She could have said, it's okay. Thank you. But she just looked at his ass. Keep going. I got yams. Prince of Boo Boo. Real romance kicks in, and of course they're going to go into a whole new world. But before that, a whole new world wouldn't work if the setup for the song didn't work, and the setup being that these two have really great chemistry together.
A whole world outside of books and maps.
What are you doing?
You just have to take a risk.
You lazy bitch.
Jenny. Man, what's something I want to ask you about is because when we were being complimentary towards this trailer, we were talking about, hey, we said, if nothing else, it looks like the costume design and the set design is going to be great. I have to say, I really like it because they make Agrabah, you know, it's definitely a set, but it feels like a real city. Now, of course, because it's enhanced by CG sometimes, but even when they're just using sets, they populate it so well with people and extras and all these extras. I mean, this is the one time where extras are really put to good use.
Sure.
Because all of them are wearing these amazing costumes in there. You know, it's more Bollywood than Arabic.
Yeah.
But I can see why, because it's befitting of a musical. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, okay, you know, if nothing else, that still rings true, man. That it looks amazing. Production is amazing on this. How'd you feel about that?
Yeah, no, I agree. The costumes and the sets were beautiful. I mean, it's weird because with that dance number, the Prince Ali music number, some of that seems big and some of it seems like it's really small.
Yeah,
like the scale. It's hard to get a bead on the scale. But you know, they have every so often they'll pull back and show you the kingdom of Agrabah, all of it, or the different places they go in the desert, and you get a more sense of scale.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this gets just by the scope of what they're doing here. If they didn't have if this wasn't nominated for costume design.
Well, I don't know if this is going to be in your negatives, but one other thing I found positive that I really liked about it was I wasn't sure from the trailer because he was so very different, but watching the movie, I really appreciated how different Jafar was. This actor's take on it, rather than being that so effete type of villain, that he was just more like, listen, I'm serious about all this.
Yeah,
and I got to get mine.
Yeah, that actor is Marwan Kenzari. She was a fine actor. For me, makes a suck ass Jafar. I did. You're right, man. You one step ahead of me. You're like, yeah, I don't know if that's in your negatives. Well, Martin, you're right. Okay. It is not that it's not that I think he's terrible. I just thought it was weak. You know, I mean, where Jafar has so much personality, even if it was effeminate, you know, at least he had a little bit of energy behind it. You know, there was some personality behind it. This Jafar that we got, he just says everything like this. You will do what I say and give me power.
Well, you got his voice down.
Yeah.
But he always had such an intense look in his eye.
Well, except when he got mad at you know, like don't piss him off.
But he was always like that. Even when he was supposed to be nice talking to people, he was always had that look like.
Oh yeah. You will not talk to me like that again.
He was hungry for that crown.
Oh yeah.
You stumbled upon an opportunity. I can make you rich.
So to me, he was just kind of like, he did that whole expression to the whole thing. He had that one tone to the whole thing. For me, it was just kind of like, all right, man, look, you don't want to be here. You know, I mean, we don't need a villain. You know, we can go on about our happy lives. You can just leave us alone. I mean, and maybe I'm just used to having just a gay Jafar.
No, I mean, that's the thing. It hurt me to not have the original Jafar, because he's my favorite Disney villain.
Yeah,
but you know, once I was like, all right, well, it's not. You know what? I'd rather have this guy doing this completely different take than somebody trying to do that and stumbling and failing at it.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you, and yet, I mean, because I completely agree with you. They've been able to separate themselves of certain things, but I'm just kind of like, man, I just
want this one thing though.
I really just think y'all, if y'all could have got just a petty ass gay dude to do this. I really would have loved it, man, because that's what made Jafar. Because Jafar wasn't only just evil; he was petty, man.
Yeah, he's petty,
and he was like a woman, man. Because every time Aladdin was around, he just look at him and be like, "Bitch."
I know that Prince Abubu.
Prince, you didn't have, man. He just had to dig it in, like,
you said that already. I got it.
And Aladdin's like, you know my name. Oh, do I? Really? You know, because wearing mascara and shit. I just an evil transvestite. I loved it, man. That's what I was like, shit, get George Takei to do it, man. Put him in brown face. We'll give him a pass for this one. Who the you? Man, that's the whole movie. I was like, all right, you need to go. You and that goddamn bird. Even Iago didn't have no personality. He just did what a parrot does. I repeat you. You know, I'm just like, all right.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of different feelings about Iago.
Shit, I hate to say it. I would have taken Kevin Hart for Iago.
Wow.
I mean, because
you very much said you would not take that when we talked about this before.
That was before I saw the movie. I would gladly take it. How'd you fire? Hey man, I don't want to say nothing, but you gay. I mean, I'm homo.
I ain't getting in trouble over that again.
There are certain things, like I said, in animation, you're not going to be able to. Like, no, you will be able to do it, but at this point, it's just going to seem like you're just mimicking the original. You know, we talked about, once again, not to keep harping on it, but the Prince Ali number. We talked about how great it was in animation because it was so energetic, and the animators and Robin Williams' performance worked so well together.
He's got 75 golden cans.
Don't they look lovely? Got the zoo. I'm telling you, it's a world-class menagerie.
You know that, like, we did our side-by-side comparison. We talked about how this wasn't going to work, and I almost hate to go back and backtrack on it because the numbers still don't work for me. But if I may just, again, just apologize just a little. I did see what they were doing. They were not trying to go for the animation as much as we saw in that. They said, let's not even do that. They tried to, you know, of course, this is a fantasy film, but it's a fantasy film that is set in live action. So they wanted to kind of like, I think they want to be just a little more realistic with it. Yeah. So they pulled back on all of the magic in there and the different characters that Robin Williams was playing. They didn't have they didn't. It's not a great number at all. This is probably the weakest thing with the movie, or one of them. Yeah. But I can see why I can see what they were doing. They were trying to keep it just a little more in the realm of reality instead of going for what they did with animation. And on top of that, it did end pretty well. There was a point where they kind of did their own thing at the conclusion, and it ended on a rousing note. Yeah. So, I mean, if you can stick your landing at the end, then all right. You know, a lot of people got by some bullshit just by doing something really great at the end. I'm interested to see how people gonna feel about, okay, so you did this movie with an Arabic theme and you just either threw the Muslims out or you just put them way in the back. Because in this film, like we said, it is more Bollywood than Arabic. Yeah. And I think they did that because Disney don't want to lose no money by having these audiences come in here and seeing all these terrorists on the screen. Now, I'm not saying that myself, but that is the shitty backwards thinking of some people, and Disney knows it. And they like, well, we like to do the right thing, but we like to get our money too. And they put them people in the back. The movie, I made a joke about this earlier, but the movie for casting, they almost made the cast do the paper bag test. The brown paper bag test. If you were darker than that paper bag right there, shit, I don't even think that paper bag got in. If you were darker than that paper bag, you were either put way in the background, or you were some side character, or even if you were a side character, you were one of these villainous ass henchmen chasing Aladdin around town.
Or you were Will Smith.
Will Smith is lighter than that bag.
No, he's not.
See, look at that. He's not. He's lighter, man. Look. See, I told you, man. They're about the same color, man.
No.
Yeah.
No. Your eyes are better than that.
Martin, because he's in the shade. That's why. Brother. Now, if we put him out in the light, he get a pass.
Oh, so that's the only scene he's in?
Yeah, man. Let me see. Okay, now you're going to make me go to the Prince Ali. Martin, look at that. Light as hell. Look at that. You know. I told you we get his ass out in the sun.
Okay, now compare to the other people there.
But we didn't say compared to other people. We said compared to that bag.
Not even the bag. He's talking in the bag.
Brother, he lighter than that. I told you put his ass out in the sun. He lighter than that bag.
Put the bag out there too.
Man, he lighter than that bag. That bag is got spotlights on it right now.
Look at the side. It's pointing toward the light. And no, that's not even the lightest side.
Okay, now I feel like this
side is one that's not even pointing toward.
This is a goddamn JFK assassination film right here. I know. Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
Look at the side that's getting hit by light.
Now you see. One more time. Back.
Why you flipping so fast?
Man, don't even do this. You answered before I even got on there. Y'all know I'm around now before y'all even get. I will say that if you really just go in and just kind of just let the other one, the original Aladdin, just kind of, you still have it. It's there for you. Just don't go in with this heavy on your mind. Don't go in having it influence your opinion. You will have a good time. I think there's some fun things to be had here. It's going to have problems. I'm not asking you to overlook that. But I do think that it's it's worth it for a matinee, a low matinee. But I do think it's worth it for you know, in the realm of the matinee.
There's two things in it that I thought were pretty bad, if not unforgivable. And one is they add some extra songs. I like that. I like they add some extra songs. They need that. But there is a song by Princess Jasmine, which is not even a bad song, but they stopped the movie to have this big feminist song in there. I wouldn't even mind the song being in the movie, but it's the placement where it comes. It does. It's a turd in the punch bowl kind of thing where it's like, wait, we're almost done, and they go, hold on, we got to have this number, and the number is very much them trying to have another Let It Go song in here. I mean, you can. It's just so the agenda behind the song. I'm sorry, not the agenda. The different agendas behind that song are just so plain. You're like, God damn, it's not even.
It's a song called Speechless, and I didn't want to say nothing, but damn it, since you put it out there again, and everybody's not gonna like it. It's a number where they're trying to, you know, make some strong feminist statement. And the thing is, I don't hate the song.
I don't hate the song.
I actually like the song. I wish that they had, one, it comes in close to the end of the movie, and it feels like they just rushed it in.
Yeah, like they crowbarred it in.
Yeah. And another is like, you know, again, it doesn't feel like it hit a natural point to like be played or sung in the film.
Yeah. I mean, I could think of a spot earlier in the movie where that could have been in there. And it's like, okay, that would have worked just fine.
And musicals are particular in that especially for the musicals, you have to find the right spot for people to break out in song. Otherwise, it's going to look weird.
Yeah. And that was weird.
Yeah.
Because it had got me to where, like, you know what? I'm leaving a lot of my negative stuff behind. I'm going to just go with this. I'm like, oh, my God, what are you doing? I've been so back and forth with this. Low matinee, high rental. Oh, which way do I go? I don't know. I mean, I'm coming down to it now. I don't fully know. But the thing that really pushes it down more than anything is that Will Smith cannot sing. He's awful. He's somebody who, and it's not a matter of him not being Robin Williams. You just listen to him and you go like, this guy is not a singer. He's been coached on how to not break notes, but he's bending them. He's not hitting them. You can listen to his song and tell, okay, here's a part in this song where you're supposed to hit a note probably up here. He's not a singer, so he's aiming for somewhere down here in the middle.
Yeah, his key is off.
Yes, and he's coming up short on that. It's so often with those notes, you're just kind of like, oh my God, okay, maybe he'll get the next one. Ooh, it's one of those where I go, man, if somebody wants to see it, really wants to see it, a low matinee, for me, it's more of a high rental.
Okay.
Just because, I'm thinking like I pay to go see it. I would come out and go like, yeah, that was okay. I say, so you happy you paid? And I was like, I probably could have waited.
What crossed it over into matinee for me is that one of the things that they do with the genie that I really did like is that they gave the genie an actual story. One of the benefits of having Will Smith be the genie in live action is that they don't have to rely on his visual gags as much. And they give him, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but they give him his own story here. And I thought that story was really sweet. And also, one of the things that they don't do in the original that they do here is that, for me, it was really emotional when it got to the end of his story.
Yeah.
And that is something that is wrapped up very quickly in the original. But here, what they do, I found myself a little choked up when that happened. And that is why I guess I'm giving it a low matinee. Yeah. But see, I see what you're saying. Because the brother can't say it. I was trying to sit up here and have somebody kind of fight with you. Like, well, man, you see? Like, nah, I don't see shit. Nah, I hear shit. Nah, you right. There's some things I want to fight with you on, I can't do it. I'm like, man, yeah. He's
and
correct.
I kept thinking, he'll get better. Or the next number. And it's like, oh.
Yeah, man.
At least he's only got 2 big songs.
That musical number about the paper bag, man, I still think that was pretty good. And you're the one that brings magic to my life, so please stick around. Hit that subscribe button. And if you really love what we do, check out our main site, doubletoasted.com, where you'll find the long-form version of this video, unedited, uncensored. Also, the live streams that we do almost every night of the week. Support us at dtmerch.com, and remember to always stay toasty.